What's up, guys? Me and Ryan are back on the YouTube channel for another video, but this one is going to be different from, obviously, the NFL mock draft that I did last month. Me and Ryan are going to jump into the 2021 NBA playoffs, which start tonight with the playing games. But before we do that, this video is also brought to you by Body Check Wellness. You can find them at bodycheckwellness.com. Promo code is 82DRadio for 20% off. So, Ryan, if you want to go right ahead and tell the people what we're doing with the bracket and break it down for them.
So the last handful of weeks, and obviously we're going to see this up until everything's official after the playing games, everyone's kind of been doing the same exercise, justifiably so, because there's so many moving parts in the playoffs as far as who's going to – I mean, there could be an upset and it could throw everyone's bracket off completely, kind of like March Madness, how that happens every single year. What we're going to do, we're not just going to name who we have as the Western Conference Championship, two teams, or the Eastern Conference Championship, two teams. We're going to break down every single series, how we see it playing out from the play-in games all the way to the final series and the finals. And between Ralph and I, we're not going to just combine with one. We're going to each have our own bracket, for example. So Ralph could have, the final four teams be completely different than mine. So we know that the chances of every single series being spot on are it's very slim that happens, but it's more of a game to see between Ralph and I, who gets the most series correct at the end of this. So for everyone in the comments in a couple weeks saying, oh, well, so-and-so, you had that wrong. No, duh. There's 100 teams still left, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So we're just going to keep track, give you our gut feelings for not only how we see the playing game shaken out, the first round shaken out, but all the way up until the finals. So, Ralph, you just want to start, and I don't want to say get the playing tournament out of the way because I know your Lakers are involved, and I mean, I want to say the word excitement for you, at least that's what you're telling me, but
yeah,
you just want to jump right into the playing games, and then we'll move forward here and see how long your Lakers will last.
Yeah, that's fine. So you want to start? You want to start in the East, or you want to start in the West?
Oh, we'll start in the East. We'll jump into that.
We'll start in the East. So the first game tonight, obviously the playing games start tonight. We got Indiana and Charlotte, the 9th seed Indiana Pacers versus the 10th seed Charlotte Hornets. Who do you got in this one, Ryan?
I'll make it real short and easy. Both teams are banged up. Gordon Hayward, he's obviously had a lot of injury issues. He's unlikely to play tonight. Indiana, I mean, they've been without Brogdon. He's been, up and down as far as the hamstring injury. Miles Turner's gone. Sabonis is banged up a little bit, but he should be good to go. You still have Karis LeVert. You still have good players there. Ever since McMillan left and he was fired by Indiana, I don't fully buy into this team. I'm not saying McMillan was one of the best coaches in the league, but they're not as buttoned up as they were. And with them being on the wrong side of the injury bug, like I said, the Hornets, they're banged up as well. But I think there's more trending upward for the Hornets than the Pacers. So I would say the Hornets beat out the Pacers here and get the opportunity to face the loser of Boston versus Washington.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to go Charlotte as well. Like you said, there's so much unfamiliar waters right now for the Indiana Pacers, right? They don't have that coach that can at least take them to the Eastern Conference Finals or even have that type of player that's there that they can, ride on. You know what I mean? And get them to where they need to be.
There's no cohesiveness. There's no cohesiveness right now.
Correct. And all throughout the year, you heard reports about, the players in the locker room not getting along with the head coach at the Pacers. I keep on forgetting his name out. It's a weird last name.
He's the former assistant coach for the Raptors.
Yeah. So I like Charlotte. I love LaMelo Ball. I love what they're doing out there in Charlotte. Finally, they made it. Well, they didn't make the playoffs yet. It's just still a playing game. But I'm going to take Charlotte as well. Moving on for the they still got to win one more. So I got them moving on.
So then you have Boston against Washington. The winner is immediately inserted as the 7th seed, and the loser faces the Hornets under our scenario.
Yeah.
Ralphie, I'll have you start with this one.
This might shock a lot of people, but it might not. I'm gonna go Washington on this. I'm gonna go Washington.
It's not shocking.
I just think they are rolling right now, and they are a hot team coming into these playing tournaments. I mean, Russ is doing everything he can. He's getting triple-doubles every single night. Bradley Beal almost won the scoring title this year. I think it was like point and a half or 1.3 points behind Steph Curry. So he's been rolling. And with Boston, man, being so banged up, they lost Jaylen Brown, who's another scorer for them. I just don't trust Boston. And it's weird because it's the playoffs, and you would think, hey, Boston's just going to walk to this, they're going to walk all over Washington and get to the 7th seed. I just don't see that happening. Give me Washington in this game, and they go into the 7th seed to play Brooklyn.
Yeah, Rafi, I actually agree with you here. Not only based off of everything you said as far as how the Wizards are trending in the right direction as opposed to Boston, who, with the injuries and just the lack of consistency the entire year. And I understand that they've had some COVID issues, but honestly, who hasn't? So I bring that up, but I also say, okay, other than the Pelicans, who I think they were the only team in the league that didn't have any COVID issues, they just, it's a lost season for Boston, okay? And I could say that, and in a couple weeks it could be like, oh, well, is it a lost season, Ryan? They got into the playoffs. I honestly believe, and maybe I'll eat crow by this. I hope not, because I can't stand the Celtics. No disrespect, but I absolutely despise the Celtics. I think their absolute ceiling is just getting to the playoffs. Like, I just don't believe currently constructed, and a lot of it's due to injury. I don't believe they have what it takes to win a series, especially given the seeding. Like, if they win here, they're going to be the 7th seed and they're going to face Brooklyn. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, I'm rooting against the Brooklyn Nets just like everyone else. But come on now. Come on. I mean, maybe they could take a game, possibly. But to me, I'm not saying Washington's ceiling is high at all. I mean, I could easily, if we face them, for example, I think we would bounce them in 4 or 5. But I would say Washington, based off of everything we said, I think that they win this game here. And based off of the star power and the way they've been playing, they're immediately inserted into the 7th seed to face Brooklyn in the first round.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which means we would have now the final leg of the Eastern Conference playing game or playing tourney, and that would be, for both of us, Charlotte versus Boston.
You want to do this one first? You want to go first?
No, because I kind of want to purposely disagree with you in a way. So I want to see where you go. I want to gauge the room here. Because this is a toss-up. I just trashed Boston, but it's a toss-up. Because, again, experience is a big thing. Experience is a big thing.
And when you have a lot of young players that Charlotte does that are actually, a lot of them, Malik Monk and Miles Bridges and obviously LaMelo, first time in the playoffs, right? And they get that playoff atmosphere. Sometimes it's a lot for rookies or, guys that just got there, or made their first playoff appearance. And it hurts me to say this because I just dogged on them, Boston, because all the injuries and stuff. But I still think that Boston, like you said, their ceiling is to get to the playoffs and hope for the best. And that's what I have them. I have Boston beating Charlotte in the last game of the play-in, and Boston will be taking on Philly as the 8th seed. And here we go, Philly, Boston in the first round. Right? The NBA loves it. It's ratings. Let's make it happen, right?
I know I should have gone first because now I'm going to be forced into I'm going to be forced into agreeing with you. I was really hoping you would go Charlotte there. I just trashed Boston for like 2 minutes straight.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for the last 2 months. I think given everything that's happened with both the Sixers and the Celtics the last 12 or so months, it was all setting up for us to face Boston again in the first round and then reverse sweep them. Due to them, what they did to us in the bubble.
Yeah. It all comes full circle now.
Yes, and honestly, I'll settle for a 5-game. You know what I'm saying? Just get in the series and get the hell out of there. You want to take one game? Cool, great. You know what I'm saying? But don't make anything crazy and just get the hell out of there. I'm concerned about Boston. Like I said, my expectations are obviously not very high, but I'm just going based off of Charlotte just has so many young pieces, okay? And again, if Gordon Hayward was 100% healthy, if they had some of these things going for them, I would say, oh, well, absolutely Hornets. But I'll go with experience here, even though I don't know what Kemba Walker I'm getting any night. Jason Tatum's very good, but them not having Jaylen Brown is going to hurt. So to me, I'll go Boston versus Philly in the first round. And you asked me this yesterday, Ralph, or a couple of days ago. And you said, well, Ryan, would you be concerned or annoyed if you had to face the Celtics in the first round. I said I would not be concerned, but I would be annoyed because I can't stand the Celtics. Like I just don't like Celtics basketball. I don't like the announcer, the for three, just everything. So I'm going to be annoyed when I see Sixers versus Boston. But to be honest, any of these four teams that we would face, we as in the Sixers, get out of there in 5 games at the most and then just move on.
Yeah, relax, get the time off.
Yes.
And move on.
So now
we'll move on to the West. Awesome. Wonderful. Here we go. Should we do the 7-8 game or the 9 and 10 game first?
Listen, this is your show, my brother.
Right, we'll get it out.
Somebody's wearing a jersey over on this side. So.
We'll get it out of the way. Lakers, Golden State, same thing as the East. Winner of this obviously becomes the 7th seed, against Phoenix. And then the loser obviously plays either Memphis and San Antonio. So the Lakers and Golden State, and here we are because, Denver said at halftime, starters, come on out, even though they were getting blown out by 22 and a half. So it is what it is.
Pull to Doug Peterson.
Yeah, right, yeah. So I'm going to be a homer, okay? I got the jersey on. I got the hat on. I'm going to take my team, the Los Angeles Lakers, to move on and play the Phoenix Suns as the number 7 seed in the Western Conference. I just think having a healthy, hopefully, knock on wood, LeBron James and a hopefully, knock on wood, Anthony Davis, I don't know who can stop us right now if they're both healthy. And we've played very, very well against Golden State, but just like LeBron said in his press conference the other day.
We're quoting LeBron James right now. That's what we're doing.
It's still Steph Curry. It's still Steph Curry. And you saw it yesterday or 2 nights ago, when they played Memphis for that 8 seed and Steph Curry just went off, 46 points. Insane. So I got the Lakers moving on and playing Phoenix as the number 7 seed,
So you have the Lakers moving on.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Well, I only feel like I have to say one word, and it's not even me. I only have to say one word when it comes down to predicting how this game Wednesday night on the air, by the way, we're going to be on the air.
Yes.
Live to see your reaction to Golden State versus Lakers. And the one word is this.
Oh, my God. I love it.
The Warriors are winning this game, Ralphie. They are, not because the Warriors are great, but it's because Steph Curry is great. And I don't know, is ankle even going to be available? I mean, do we have 100% guarantee on that?
For LeBron? Yeah, he'll be fine. He's fine.
I heard that.
He'll be all right.
But honestly, I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. And I just think it's going to be a little bit of a panic spree for like 24 hours for you and Laker Nation. I think you guys are going to be fine once we get to the second game here, but I see the Warriors going on, and they'll be the 7th seed in the West.
Okay. So Warriors playing in your bracket, they'll be playing Phoenix as the 7th seed. Obviously, Phoenix the number 2. So we get to the other one, Memphis and San Antonio. Wonderful. Can't wait to watch this.
Can I be honest? And listen, for all the San Antonio Spurs and Memphis Grizzlies fans watching this, I apologize and mean no disrespect at all. I mean, this game is basically, they're just going to determine who's going to have the right to lose to the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if the Lakers go and they lose to the Warriors and either the Memphis Grizzlies or the San Antonio Spurs, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on. What are we doing? I'll just say for fun, it's going to be the Spurs. I'll say the Spurs move on, and then they'll lose to the Lakers.
Yeah. For this one, I'm going to take Memphis. I just love John Morant. Obviously, Jaren Jackson is out there as well. I'll take Memphis over San Antonio, so they'll be playing Golden State. And Golden State is obviously going to beat Memphis again, and they'll finally become the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
So now we have all of the seedings set. Correct, Ralphie?
Yes, correct.
So let's just jump back in to the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
And we'll just go right down the line, all right? So the first would be the number 1 seed Philadelphia 76ers against the 8th seeded Boston Celtics.
Correct. Yep.
And I have this series going in 4 to the Sixers.
Okay. I'm going to go 5, and it's for Philly as well. I'm gonna add it. I think Boston can sneak a win, can get you a win, fall into a win, right? But it's going to be a quick series, like you said at the beginning, right? Get in, get out, do your business, have more time to rest, watch everybody else play, get banged up, stuff like that. So I'm going to take Philly in 5 for the first round against Boston.
Then we go to Brooklyn, the 2 seed, against the 7th seeded Washington, correct?
Yes.
And sorry to Wizards fans. I know there's a lot of them that watch our shows. Brooklyn will sweep.
Sweep. Okay. This one I'm also going to do, I'm going to go 5 as well.
I would love that. I mean,
Brooklyn,
I'm rooting for the Wizards. I am.
Oh yeah. I think everybody in the Eastern Conference should be rooting for whoever plays Brooklyn. So I'm going to go Brooklyn in 5 against the Wizards. I think the Wizards can steal a game over Brooklyn, but that's all they're getting. They're just getting one. It's going to be like what was the first year with Kawhi, right? When Orlando beat them in the first game in the first round, and everybody's like, "Oh man, here we go. They're going to choke," and then 4 games later. 4 straight games.
That I may or may not have been one of those. And they're like, oh my God, it's the Raptors. And then obviously about a month and a half later, Kawhi does what he does to us. And I'm going to move on to the next series now.
Yeah.
Then you have the 3-seeded Milwaukee Bucks against the 6-seeded Miami Heat. And I'm just going to say I'm very happy that Milwaukee has to play the Heat and not us.
This is great.
Ralphie, the look on your face tells me you have something here.
This is great for Sixers fans because this is perfect for them, right? We talked on many shows, right? We want the easiest. It might be a cop-out, but who cares? You get the number 1 seed for a reason. It should be a walk, right? Should be a walk to the NBA Finals. This is what Sixers fans wanted.
Cop-out? I don't give a damn who we play. If we have a parade at the end of the day, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
This is what you wanted, though. You know, 2 heavyweight teams in the first round going at it. This is great for the Sixers, especially if they got to either play the Knicks and Atlanta in the second round.
I am going to go. I'll just make it real quick. I'll go Milwaukee in 6. But listen, you can make the argument that it's Miami in 6. I mean, this might be my favorite series of the entire playoffs.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. But I think this one is going to be a heavyweight bout, man. Something screams, like you said, this is going to be a great series. This screams 7 to me, and I'm going Milwaukee in 7 in the first round.
Listen, I could see it. Again, I'll just throw the caveat in there again. I'm glad it's not us.
Yeah, right.
And then you have New York against Atlanta. I've been accused, along with Tom, of being an Atlanta hater. I'm not an Atlanta hater. I don't think there's such thing as an Atlanta hater. I just think they're just not ready. I think there's a lot of players. I like what they're doing. They're obviously way better than they were last year or the year prior. I like the Knicks a little bit more, though. So I would say Knicks in 6.
I can't believe I'm going to do this.
Are you
Trae Young? Obviously, everybody knows my feelings on Trae Young.
Yeah, you think he sucks.
But I'm going to do it anyway. And I understand the Knicks' first time in playoffs since 2013. And Julius Randle, I think one of the stats I saw the other day was like he's scoring like almost 35 points per game against Atlanta. It's something insane. It's something crazy. But guess what? It's the playoffs. It's different kind of basketball. Give me the Atlanta Hawks in 6 games.
Oh,
6 games for Atlanta.
Listen, I'm okay with that. I'm all right. All right. So you're going Atlanta, moving on, and having to face Philly in the
Yes.
second round, and then
Correct.
we'll just complete the right side of the bracket. Then we'll move over to the
Yeah, that's fine.
West. So you have Philly against Atlanta, and I have Philly against New York.
Yeah.
Ralphie, I'll just keep it right with you, brother.
Okay. Philly, Atlanta. Obviously, did you guys? I don't know if you know. Did you guys sweep the season series or what?
I don't believe we did. We tend to struggle against the Hawks.
Gotcha.
I will check. Let me see. Sixers versus Hawks. I just want to be factual. I don't want to be fake news here. Sixers versus Hawks 2021. Hawks won. So we took 2 out of 3.
Gotcha. Okay. Like I said, it's playoff basketball. Everything slows down, and obviously, I picked Atlanta to beat New York in the previous round. It's Philadelphia. I mean, they got the best big man down low. Clint Capella. Good luck. Have fun. Try and stop them. I don't know if you can.
Might be a fun series, though. That'll be a fun series.
Embiid
versus Capella.
So I'm gonna go Philly in 6 over Atlanta.
And I have New York going here instead of Atlanta, and I'm also going to go Philly. See, it's tough because I really respect what the Knicks are. They're a gritty team. I was telling Tom yesterday that I believe the closest comparison based off of who the Sixers have played as of late in the playoffs, I believe it was 2019, just because the last handful of years have blended because of the bubble, COVID, all that stuff. The same playoff year that we went to Toronto and the Toronto stuff happened, where we faced Brooklyn in the first round. And Brooklyn was that gritty, just very gritty, talented young team, right? With D'Lo and Karis LeVert and Dinwiddie and Nicholas Claxton and et cetera, et cetera. But this is a more talented team than that. So that Nets team took us to 5. I think this team is a little bit more buttoned up. I think they're a little bit more talented. But Ben Simmons also hasn't ever lost to the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of evens out. I'm going to go Sixers beat New York in 5.
Gotcha. Okay. So you have Philly, the first team to be in the Eastern Conference. So there you go.
And then we go down to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And we both have them facing Milwaukee, correct?
Correct. I had Milwaukee beating Miami in 7 games, the Nets beating Washington in 5. Again, the Sixers fans are happy because this is what you wanted from all along. Let the heavyweights battle it out. Let you sit in the Eastern Conference, rest up, and watch it all unfold.
I'm going to go Milwaukee in 7 here. I mean, again, just similar to the Miami-Milwaukee series, you can make arguments for Brooklyn in 6, Brooklyn in 5, Brooklyn in 7, and you could do the same thing for Milwaukee. That's why, once again, to Ralph's point, I'm happy it's happening over there. And it's nowhere close. You know what I'm saying? Just go over there. Go over there. I'll watch. I'll just watch on the TV. And I would say Milwaukee over Brooklyn, number 1, because let's not act like Milwaukee is just one of these up-and-coming teams that just got hot out of nowhere. They've been due to win the title the last 3 seasons. They're a better team right now than they were the past handful of seasons based off of just one person. His name is Drew Holiday. And I'm not saying Drew Holiday is a top 10 player, but I will always say this. He's one of the best players in the NBA that no one really talks about that much. So, to me, I think Milwaukee is built for it. And especially when you talk about Milwaukee going up against Brooklyn, Milwaukee has struggled in the playoffs because what's their MO? Pass it to Giannis at the top of the key and have him run forward. And teams like Philly or teams like Miami, they would be able to stop Giannis in a good sample size to do that because they had the size and the defensive presence to do that. And I'm not going to buy into, what I think is the national media type thing of, Brooklyn has the worst defense in the league. I think that's exaggerating a little bit too much. But I think that when you talk about matchups of who would have the biggest issue with defending that kind of offense, it's the Brooklyn Nets. And listen, I understand Brooklyn has all the scoring and everything, but I truly believe the team that has the most cohesiveness to go up against Brooklyn is Milwaukee. So I'll go Milwaukee to move on to face Philly in the Eastern Finals.
In what, 6 games, 7 games?
Seven. Yes.
Okay. So I also have Brooklyn and Milwaukee battling out in the second round as well. It's like you said, right? And this is such a coin flip series yet again. Heads could be Milwaukee, tails could be the Nets, and you just flip it and hope for the best. But I just don't see a team like Milwaukee slowing down the Brooklyn Nets. I just don't. On the defensive end for Brooklyn, right? For Milwaukee, excuse me, right? You have PJ Tucker there. That's somewhat of a good defender. Obviously, Drew's a good defender in his own right, and obviously Giannis is always in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. But you got 3 guys on that on the half court set that can just score the ball at will, man, and it's insane. Obviously, Kyrie can break down anybody in the league. James Harden can as well, and it seems like no matter how many guys you have on Kevin Durant, he just shoots over top of them, and it's always a swish. So I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go the Brooklyn Nets in 6 games. 6 games for Brooklyn.
Ooh, okay. All right.
We'll play the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference. And now, here we are, right?
Well, let's put a cork. We'll leave that there. We'll leave the East there. We'll have that just sit.
Okay.
Let's move on over.
To the West?
Let's move back on over. So the first rounds, and again, we have some moving parts here, so we're going to have to refresh it here. It's Utah against the Lakers, correct?
For you, yep.
For me, and you have it flipped.
Yeah.
You have Utah against the Warriors.
Correct, yep.
I'll let you start.
Well, the Western Conference is so, to me, wide open.
It could get messy.
It can, right? Because you have Utah who, is Donovan Mitchell going to be healthy coming into the playoffs as well because he has that tweak ankle, right? And obviously, are they an overrated team? Are they an underrated team, right? They're a number 1 seed for a reason, I guess, right? But they've been, hot and cold all year, and it also has some people talking about Utah, are they really a true number 1 seed, right? Do they put any fear into you? But I just think Steph Curry can only do so much for Golden State to where can Draymond score them 12 to 14 points in a series every night? Can Andrew Wiggins score you, 18 to 20 points per night? And obviously Steph is going to do what Steph is going to do. This one, it's somewhat of, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But I got to be a realist here. Give me the Jazz in this one. And the Jazz beat Golden State in 6 games.
So I have Jazz against Lakers.
Correct.
Jazz, pretty good team. Very good team. Doesn't matter. Lakers in 6.
There you go.
Listen, I'm not going to call the Jazz a fraud, but it just screams regular season team to me. You know how we always have those teams. And I'm going to if AD and LeBron are healthy and they have a ton of talent around them, I'm sorry, Utah. I apologize. Yeah. I'm going with the guys that have done it. And I'm not saying that they have 0 playoff experience in Utah, but I'm going with the people who have done it quite a few amount of times. So I'm going Lakers in 6 because I've been saying this for a month also. I think once we get to the Western Conference portion of the playoffs, I think it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a war zone.
It is.
I think people are going to be dropping like flies all over the place. I think the East is going to go pretty. It's going to be nice and calm. We're going to be sitting back, drinking coffee. And on the West, it's World War III, to be honest.
Yeah, right. So now we got the second game of that. Clippers are afraid of the Lakers. Got to put that in there. Playing against the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the Mavericks are 5. Clippers are 4. Rob, we'll start with you. Where do you see this one going?
The Clippers, I believe, are the toughest team to figure out in this entire league out of every team that's remaining because they have so much talent. So much talent. You could argue that they're built for the playoffs they're the exact opposite of like a Utah for me, or like a Nuggets, or even like a Sixers, for example, where you have these teams that are built for the regular season and sustainability. They're not top heavy at all. Then you have the Clippers that they're not built for the regular season at all because, I mean, they're like the load management team.
Yeah.
They are the worst team statistically in crunch time in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
-5. They have so much friggin' talent. And then I look at the Mavericks and, I mean, is Porzingis ever going to – I mean, is he alive? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like 99% of the season has been going on without Kristaps Porzingis. So if Luka's going to win a series, it's going to be Luka versus the Clippers. No disrespect to Hardaway. Like, I know they have players, but it's Luka Doncic. It's Luka Doncic versus the freaking Clippers. And while I'm not going to fully buy into the Clippers, if the Clippers lose this freaking series, I mean, what do we just fold the freaking franchise? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, then I guess Kawhi's leaving, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's leaving anyway because he's a drifter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just going to move on.
Yeah.
I'm going Clippers in 6.
Okay. Like you said, you made a lot of great points. Obviously, the Clippers in crunch time this year are -5 for clutch points, which is, like you said, one of the worst in NBA history. It's
with all the talent that they have Marcus Morris, you have Rajon Rondo. I know he's only been there for like 5 minutes. You have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Evgeny Zubac. I mean, you have so much freaking talent.
Yeah, and it's here we are again. Now the question is, is that dark cloud going to carry over the Clippers? In this playoff of not getting over the hump. Obviously, I don't think they've ever been to a Western Conference final or even a finals appearance through their whole entire organization as a whole. But like you said, it's Luka versus the Clippers in this game, almost like how it was last year in the bubble, right? It's like Luka had that game winner and everybody thought, oh, here we go, buckle up. And then all of a sudden, the Clippers come out and they win that series. But for this one, I'm gonna go Clippers in 6 as well. I just think the deciding factor in this is they have Kawhi Leonard and they have Paul George, two of the best wing defenders or two of the best two-way forwards in the game. So I'm gonna go Clippers in 6.
And for everyone wondering what Ralphie was alluding to as far as the Luka shot, it's well, I'm just gonna show you his reaction in a moment.
I am this. I love it.
He is the man, but he's going to lose in the first round.
He is. So we got the next series. Yes, I love this. Denver. All right, as the number 3 seed against Portland as the number 6 seed. I'll go first on this, Rye.
Please do.
Listen, Denver. Here we are again. Seems like another playoff series that Denver and Portland gets matched up.
It's every friggin' year. I swear to God.
Seems like it, right? Seems like it. Denver, another team that up and down, and obviously they lost Jamal Murray to the ACL tear late in the season. So they're going to be without their star point guard. But listen. Damian Lillard. I can't bet. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Damian Lillard is a beast. He's an animal. He can score anywhere on the floor. Logo Lillard is one of his nicknames for a reason, okay? So guess what? Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers are going to beat the Denver Nuggets in 6 games, and they're going to wave them bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See, I truly believe this series is destined to go 7 games.
Okay.
Everyone was so quick to just abandon all hope in Denver. And I get it. You lose a player like Jamal Murray. That's what happens. And on the flip side, you look at a team that's actually, for once, on the right side of the injury bug. They're starting, Portland that is, they're starting to finally get healthy again. You had McCollum out for a while. He's back. You had Nurkic out. He's back. You obviously acquire Norman Powell. You have Damian Lillard, Carmelo Anthony. A list on, end-on-end amount of players. Something about Denver just tells me they're not going to go away easy. So this is the same deal as the Milwaukee-Miami Heat series, to where you can make arguments for either team in 6, either team in 7. I'm going to go Denver Nuggets beat out Portland in 7 games.
Okay. All right.
And then you have Phoenix going up against, well, it's different. I have against the Warriors. You have against the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
So I'll just, hey, listen, man, go ahead.
All right. So here we go, baby.
I think I know what you're going to do, but
It's crazy because I had this matchup as my Western Conference to start the year.
Phoenix was
conference final.
Phoenix was.
But here we are in the first round, right? Come full circle. Wonderful. Awesome. For me, obviously for the Lakers, it all depends on the health of Anthony Davis and LeBron James, right? If one of them misses a playoff game or multiple playoff games, that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to overcome. They're both good to go. And listen, the Phoenix Suns are another team, almost like the Atlanta Hawks in some rights, where they had young players there and they could never get to the playoffs. And then they got into the playoffs, and then it's their first time, right? DeAndre Ayton's first time in the playoffs. Devin Booker, it's been, 6 years since he's been in the league. Finally makes the playoffs, and obviously they have Chris Paul as their point guard. But a healthy Lakers team, not trying to be a homer or anything, is a scary team. Scary team.
I had the Lakers beating
Very
Utah,
good team. So I'm going to take – it's not going to be no walk in the park for the Lakers either, because we have some flaws that we still got to work on as well. But I got the Lakers beating Phoenix in the first round in 6 games.
I'll make mine real quick. I've got Phoenix and Warriors. Steph Curry's great. Steph Curry is God, all that. Phoenix, they're just so damn efficient. So everything they do is efficient. They can beat you so many different ways. I love the war. Listen, if the Warriors got past this round, it would be one hell of a story.
Yeah.
And just because, who's not a fan of Steph Curry, to be honest? So, I'll be rooting for him. I really can't see the Warriors winning here, even though, again, it's Steph Curry, so I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm going to go Phoenix in 6.
Yeah, and Ryan, like I said, it's so tough for Golden State because, they have Steph Curry. But like I said, other players got to step up big time, right? It's not like a one game series where, Steph Curry can give you 50 in that one game, right? They can give you 50 and you move on into the next round. Now you got to, work for these games, these 4 wins, and I just don't see Golden State, or Wiggins, giving you 20 a night, or Drummond, it's not the Drummond, Draymond, giving you, 13 to 14 points per game, in that series.
And they're without Wiseman, and then Oubre's been banged up. So,
yeah.
I believe Pascal's still out. So it's not like they're 100% healthy. They're not.
Yeah.
They have good role players playing around them that are, they're doing a really good job because Steph Curry's making them better. But listen, for them, given, the bomb that they got hit with on draft day with Klay Thompson being out for the year, the fact that they're going to be even in a legitimate discussion to A, get in the playoffs, and B, have a chance to win a series, it shows the greatness of Steph Curry, and it shows that it was – I don't want to call – listen, it's so hard to call any season of success getting bounced in the first round, but I think given the context, I don't think anything would be frowned upon if they did anything but just got swept, for example. If they fought Phoenix and took them to 6 or 7 games and they lost, I don't think anyone is too upset, to be honest.
Yeah. So we'll move back up to the bracket. I have Utah and the Clippers in the second round here.
You know what I have, Ralphie?
Lakers, Clippers in the second round.
It's that series that was supposed to happen all those months ago.
Yeah, right. Right, all that talk. You want to go first? Or you want me to go?
You go first, because I don't like this. I don't like this now. I don't like how this is panning out for my sanity. Because I'm gonna have to do something I don't want to do.
For the Jazz and Clippers, for my side of the bracket, like I said, the Clippers have two of the best wing defenders, two of the best two-way players in the game, in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Obviously, they have playoff Rondo. Zubac has been a nice pickup or a nice center for them over these years. Obviously, they have Morris there as well. Nicholas Batum is there as well. A lot of three-point shooters on that team. And for Utah, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, I get against the Clippers. I'm saying Donovan Mitchell, he's going to get his obviously. For this one, I'm going to have the Clippers move on. They finally get over the hump. Hate to say it, but Clippers go to the Western Conference Finals. They beat Utah in 6.
They go to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in franchise history.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Have a day. Have a day.
You know, and it's so crazy because all those teams that the Clippers had in Lob City and Chris Paul, they still can't get over that. They still didn't even make it to the Western Conference Final.
Hey, don't say that too loud. Their coach was our coach now. So
yeah, I know.
Let's calm down. Let's freaking calm down. I have Lakers Clippers. Listen, if they're healthy, I trust LeBron and AD late in games more than I do the Clippers. I am going to go Lakers.
Wow.
In 7.
Okay.
I don't like how this is turning out for me because I'm like starting to like project in my mind of how I see this going, and I don't like it one bit.
Yeah.
I don't like this one bit.
Okay.
And so
then you have Lakers and
I have
done the bottom yet.
Yeah, I have Lakers getting to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
And then I have Denver against Phoenix.
Okay. And this is where I have the Lakers and Portland. Another matchup from last year where we beat Portland in 5. I'll go first here. Well, obviously the regular season panned out. We didn't lose. We lost, obviously the last game against Portland. And that's why they finished higher than us with the tiebreaker. But that was when we didn't have LeBron and we were banged up and no Dennis Schroeder and stuff like that. But guess what, buddy? Guess what, Dane? Guess what, CJ? We're healthy, baby. We're healthy again, and we're, good to see you in the playoffs again. But, hey, I'm sorry. We're moving on. I got Lakers beating Portland in 6 games to move on to the Western Conference Finals for an all-California Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Clippers.
See, this is really tough because like you, Ralphie, in one of the other series where you had your original prediction was Lakers Suns in the Western Conference Finals, my original prediction was Nuggets Suns in the Western Conference Finals, but I'm getting it here. I'm getting it in the second round. So it's so tough because I think both of these teams are not only good enough, and again, I understand Jamal Murray's not with the Nuggets, but even without him, I think they're both good enough to not only get to the finals, but win the entire friggin' thing. But I'm going to go on the side of health. I'm going to go Phoenix in 6 over Denver.
Ooh, okay. So Lakers, Suns, Western Conference Finals for Ryan.
So I have
Lakers,
yours.
Clippers, Western Conference Finals for me. You want to jump back over to the East? You want to stay in the West?
Go over to the East real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Eastern Conference. I got Philly and Brooklyn in Eastern Conference Finals. You have Philly and Milwaukee, correct, Ryan?
That is correct.
Gotcha. So at the beginning, if you guys haven't watched any of the shows on Wednesday nights, I'll bring you up to speed. At the beginning of the year, we gave our predictions of who's going to be in this spot or who's going to be into the finals. And I had the Philadelphia 76ers representing the Eastern Conference. And listen, that's not going to change, buddy. Not going to change. I have the Philadelphia 76ers beating the Brooklyn Nets in 7 games. I think that Sixers defense has been on point all year long. And I think they have the guys to at least slow down Brooklyn. And the half-court offense again for the 76ers with Joel Embiid, who's stopping that man? Who's stopping him? Because if you bring the double team, I can kick it out to Curry. I can kick it out to Danny for 3, right? So I got the Sixers in 7 going to the NBA Finals first time since 2001.
So you say who's beating that, Ralphie?
Yeah.
And again, I'm wearing the jersey, so I have no incentive to do what I'm doing. Milwaukee's stopping that.
Oh, man.
Just based off of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lessen any of the accomplishments, any of the good times, the great times that we had throughout the entire year for the Sixers. They are way better than I thought they would be, especially considering where we were back in the fall after we got swept in the bubble, after we fired Brett Brown, after we still had Al Horford and Joel Embiid looked like he was going to trying to get traded to Miami, and Elton Brand didn't know where Ben Simmons was at the beginning of training camp, and all these things. We didn't know who the coach was, the GM was, etc. So to say that they have exceeded my expectations would be an understatement. But everything needs to be clicking on all cylinders to go to the NBA Finals. And I've been saying it. I believe Milwaukee is primed to get there finally. And I truly believe, and this is not something, I'm not trying to make this a hate parade on this person. I think the difference maker in this series, other than the obvious, which is Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and all these guys, it's Ben Simmons. And if you hook me up to a lie detector and you ask me, hey, Ryan, do you believe in Ben Simmons enough where he would step up if we need him to in a 7-game series against Milwaukee? My answer right now is no. It's no. It's no. I'm not asking him to score 30. I'm not asking him to score 25 or 20. I buy into 4/5 of this starting rotation. I buy into this coaching staff. I buy into some parts of the bench. I'm not going to put my arms around the entire bench.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think Milwaukee is more primed to do it. And honestly, they're probably more expected to do it. And I get it. Milwaukee was a 3 seed. Sixers were a 1 seed. When you're a 1 seed, you're expected to not only get there, but win the entire friggin' thing. I just want to calm everyone down. And while I'll be extremely disappointed, everyone's saying it's finals or bust or NBA Finals championship or championship parade or bust. Let's not act like it's the friggin' Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen Celtics, ladies and gentlemen, to where it's the last hurrah, or that Joel Embiid, he's 35, or Ben Simmons is 32, and Tobias Harris is at the end of his contract. Everyone is still on the books for next year. So for a team and an organization that has not been able to touch the Eastern Conference Finals, has not been able to get past the second round, for us to get past there and go all the way to 7 games, that's a good progression, okay? Will I be shocked if they beat Milwaukee or the Nets and they get to the finals and they win it? No. I'm rooting for it. I won't be shocked at all. But I've been on Milwaukee's bandwagon for about a month and a half now. And just because I'm excited for the playoffs, I'm not going to let that quit just yet. Okay. Might be able to change. Maybe Milwaukee gets upset in the first round. This all goes to hell. Maybe I'm rooting for that. Probably. I'm rooting for that. But
and it's all fair points because we've talked on, shows in the past of, we all know what we're going to get out of Joel. We all know what we're going to get out of Tobias, but it's all going to come down to what can we get out of Ben Simmons? Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. Like you said, that's going to be the difference maker for Philly.
I'm just not there yet. It's a great step, just not quite there.
Okay.
And so you have Philly going to the finals, and I have Milwaukee going to the finals.
Correct.
Now we go back to the West, and we wrap this up in a nice little bow. I have Phoenix against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. And I'll go real quick, Ralphie, because I want to give you the stage for the all LA series. I have Phoenix winning in 7 games.
Wow. Okay.
You honestly, do you think I'm going to
suck losing in 7? But
do you think you're telling me? I just said the same thing for my team, Ralphie. You think I don't know that pain? We're going to be on the same boat that week. Do you honestly think I'm going to do this entire freaking show with you and have your team get to the finals, but us not? You're out of your damn mind.
All right, here we go. Everybody wanted it last year, but, the Clippers, or a.k.a. the Chokers, choked it away, a 3-1 series lead to Denver last year, and we didn't get it. And obviously the rest is history. Lakers went on to win the championship last year. So Clippers, Lakers is my Western Conference Finals, and we finally get it, right? LeBron, Kawhi, AD, Paul George, right? And you could go down the list of the starting 5, right? Is Reggie Jackson better than Schroeder?
No.
Okay. Is Paul George, okay, better than KCP?
I mean, I hate Paul George, but yes.
He is. Okay.
Come on, Ralphie.
Is Kawhi better than LeBron? Or vice versa? Is LeBron better than Kawhi? That one is a coin flip, depending on who you are.
Just give me your winner. Stop asking these questions.
Okay.
You're putting my mind in a pretzel. You're putting my freaking mind in a pretzel.
No, but for the Lakers, it's all going to depend on Anthony Davis, as you've seen through for these past 2 years against the Clippers, especially. Once it gets to the fourth quarter with Anthony Davis against the Clippers, he starts to disappear. He's not there. You can't find him sometimes. So this is going to be a big test for Anthony Davis against his team and how they play against them. Usually when we play against the Clippers and Anthony Davis, gets the ball down in the post, he gets double teamed and he panics a little bit, throws the ball away, and then the next possession, Kawhi dunks on somebody, and then we're down by 15. But other than that, I'm going to have the Lakers go back to the NBA Finals because guess what? The NBA wants it to happen, okay? They see that Philly has made it to the NBA Finals. And look who's sitting there. The Lakers and the Clippers, all California Western Conference Final. And they say, ratings.
Hey, I will say, though, listen, let's not act like there wouldn't be heavy ratings for Clippers, though.
Oh, no.
Reuniting against Doc Rivers, us going up against Kawhi again.
I would, yeah. But we're going to go back to the NBA Finals. We're going to beat the Clippers, not in 5, not in 6, but we'll beat them in 7 games. It will be a fun series. And then we play the Philadelphia 76ers in the 2021 NBA Finals, a repeat of what happened in 2001.
So I'll get mine out of the way because I want to make sure. I mean, you have the 2 teams finishing, so I want you to finish off the friggin' video with it. I hope your scenario plays out. I'm rooting for you. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I'm rooting for you. For both of our behalfs, by the way, because I don't have either of our teams in the finals in my scenario. I have Suns Milwaukee, and I have Milwaukee winning the NBA Finals in 6 games. So I'm just gonna. The floor is yours. I mean, I got mine out of the way. Just go.
All right.
Let's see.
Here we go. Lakers, Sixers, 2021 NBA Finals. I'll make it quick. I won't go, on a long thing. Here we are, right? This is what we wanted, right? Well, this is what I wanted for the past 2 years, right? I've always wanted Lakers, Sixers, get the feel of what happened in 2001.
Can I just say this one thing? Can I just say this
Go
one
ahead.
thing? I'm going to continue to – Ralph says that he's wanted it the last couple of years, as have I, obviously, since I'm the other team. I'm going to echo what I've told Ralphie pretty much every time he's ever said this. Hey, Ralphie. Hey, Lakers fans, LeBron, AD, Kuzma, etc. If you see us, Philadelphia 76ers, in the finals, just one piece of advice. For your sanity, you better make sure you win. Because if you don't, there will be a rain that you've never seen. There'll be a storm, and it'll be me. I'll be the storm. Philadelphia will be the storm.
So obviously the first 2 games will be in Philly. Obviously, I think the Wells Fargo is going to be rocking if you guys get into the NBA Finals. So it all comes down to this. LeBron James, Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis, and Joel. And we all know how Joel is against Anthony Davis. And listen, I'm a Lakers fan, but when AD plays against Joel, it's not a good night for Anthony Davis.
Are you about to do what I think you're about to do?
So in this scenario, listen, Joel Embiid's one of the best big men down low. Okay, he's a great shooter for a big man. When he's down the post, nobody can guard him. Obviously, we have Marcus Gasol, but he's coming off the bench. I don't even think he'll get some minutes here and there.
Hey,
we also have Trez.
Put some respect on his name.
Oh, Andre Drummond? or Marcus Gasol?
No, Gasol.
Gotcha. And we have Drummond as well, who's more of a defensive center, but we know Joel Embiid on defensive centers, Rudy Gobert, over in the season. So for this one, I think this goes 7, no matter what.
Jesus God.
And the team that will be lifting the finals trophy at the end, the Larry O'Brien trophy, will be no other than the defending champs of 2021, your LA Lakers. Do it again, back to back, beat the Sixers in 7. Rye, I have to do it. I have.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I agree, Tom. I agree.
I just think the LeBron James difference is the difference maker. One of the best to ever do it. He's been there. He's done it. Crunch time, he's been the man. But if that does happen, I just hope that we can contain Joel Embiid, because with Anthony Davis and Drummond down low, I understand, 2 of the top defensive centers or 2 defensive big men down low, but Joel Embiid is a different animal, man. Different animal. And Tobias Harris has been having a great year for the Sixers yet again, under Doc Rivers as the head coach. It's no shock there. One of his best years came with the Clippers when Doc was there. So I'm going to go Lakers in 7 over the Sixers in the NBA Finals.
I mean, if that happens, we're not going to be friends for a month.
Yeah, I know. I won't be able to do shows and, show
no,
my
you're going to be
around.
exiled. You're going to have the Ralph Delavecchio show. It's going to be
I'll be in the corner
on Tuesday, but in alternating weeks. You know what I'm saying? You'll be exiled.
1 week I'm off, 1 week I'm on.
Yeah, you'll be exiled. So I hope the parade's worth it. I really do. I have nothing else to say to you. Finish out the freaking video. I have nothing else to say to you. Finish out the video. I have nothing to say. No, you think we're gonna have a conversation after that? Maybe shame on me. A part of me actually thought you were gonna say Sixers, and I don't even know why. That's my fault.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you went Phoenix for your NBA championship, correct?
No, Milwaukee.
Oh, no, Milwaukee. Excuse me. Milwaukee. All right. So that was me and Ryan's 2021 NBA playoff breakdown.
I'm not happy.
We had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, fun. Yeah, we either one we lost. Either we get to the Eastern Finals and we lose, or we get to the NBA Finals and we lose. Both of them in 7. Just sweep us. Just get it done. Get it done. Hey, Celtics, just if we're not going to win, Celtics, just take care of us. Finish us. Put me out of my freaking misery.
First round upset.
I'm telling you, this is going to be me. If the Lakers, ignore the caption, if the Lakers beat us in anything, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is going to be me the entire summer. I've said enough. I've said my
I
piece.
love it. So Ryan had Milwaukee beating Phoenix in his bracket. Milwaukee is obviously the NBA championship for his. Also for me, obviously, as you saw, the Lakers beat the Sixers in 7 games. So there's been a lot of fun.
Whatever.
Hope you guys like this. What happened, Ryan?
I said whatever.
So there's been a lot of fun. Real quick before we end the video, this video has been brought to you by Body Check Wellness. You can find them at bodycheckwellness.com. Use promo code A2D for 20% off. And also, if you like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up to like this video. Hit the subscribe button as well. And also hit the bell on the right-hand side to notify you when we upload videos and also when shows go live. So for Ralph and Ryan, go ahead.
I'll just say, hit the like button, especially us Sixers fans, if you want to punch Ralph in the mouth right now. I've had enough.
So this has been pretty fun for me and Ryan. Hopefully we can get this, do this as well. And then also Wednesday night will be live for our show as well. Obviously the Lakers playing games. So if you guys want to come over and, shout, have fun and watch me scream, that's going to be awesome. So we'll see you guys later. See you guys. Go Lakers. Anything else right before we do this? Get out of here.
Shut up, Ralph.
See you guys.